I was there the day it went up. I was based in London for CBS at that time, and there was an influx, or an outflow, is what it is, an outflow of refugees pouring through East Berlin into West Berlin, taking the subway. The geography, as you may recall, was there was Berlin surrounded by East Germany, West Germany off to the side, but Berlin was this isolated island, which itself was divided, East Berlin and West Berlin. And what was happening was that obviously the word was out somehow. People knew instinctively that something was going to happen in Berlin. And they began to flood out. And these refugees, thousands of them, were streaming across the border between East and West, Berlin, at the Marienfelde, what was it called? Well, it was a Marienfelde refugee camp. And so Dan Shore, who was the CBS correspondent for Germany, went there, and I joined him. And we were there having dinner one night, and he got a telephone call from somebody who said, "You better get down here. Something strange is happening." It was now after midnight. We went down to the Brandenburg Gate, brilliantly floodlit. You know, to this day, when I pass a Con Ed construction situation where they're doing emergency repairs in the middle of the night, and they have these big sort of lights on, well, that's what it was. And we watched as these the Volkspolizei, the so-called Vopo, with their jackhammers, would drill a hole, and then they'd move on and drill another hole, and they'd drill another hole. Behind them came a truck with concrete, precast concrete stanchions, which they drop in the hole. Behind them would come another truck with a slab of concrete, which would slide in between the two holes. And that was the beginning of the wall going up. And we watched and we filmed. And the next day, we went to the French sector of Berlin, along the border, and there was just a coil of barbed wire at that point. The wall thing was being constructed behind it, but there was this coil of barbed wire. And the CBS cameraman, a guy named Jürgen Neumann, I remember him very well, caught a signal, if you will, from one of the Volkspolizei on the other side that he wanted to come over. And Neumann had seen that if he picked up his camera, the Volkspolizei would turn away. They didn't want to get their picture taken. So he created a diversion by ostentatiously filming all the colleagues of this guy who wanted to come out, who did come out. And there was a photograph taken at the time, if you went back and researched the still photograph coverage of it, of this Vopo jumping over the barbed wire roll.
Yeah.
But it was quite an interesting time because we were no satellites, and it was all film. So you're shot and shipped. And what we did is, in a gentleman's situation, you knew the last plane out of Berlin was, I think, a 9 o'clock, which would get to London in time to stick the stuff on a jet, which would get it to New York in time for the next days, or 2 days later. Yeah, 9 o'clock, it would overnight to Berlin, and then it would take the morning flight to New York, and then it would be on the air. So, I mean, we had what we called orange bags. They were, in fact, one was, CBS's was yellow and NBC's was orange. It was kind of a fabric bag. You put your film in there, and one guy would volunteer to take it to the airport and ship it. That's what we did. It was very gentlemanly. Then we go out and have dinner. You know.